When learning about the law of attraction, I sometimes wonder if I'm just wasting my time and money. I get anxious because the people who talk about it sometimes come across as, well, kind of sketchy. It's a belief-based thing, and doubt is a huge barrier in that area. I used to feel the same way, but I got an idea from a Buddhist video. In Buddhism, there's a term called Shin Hai Heng Jung. I'm not great with Chinese characters, but it roughly means believing, understanding, acting, and proving. The first step is belief. You believe first, then understand. Take action, and eventually, it proves itself. Usually, we want to understand first before we believe, right? We want things to be safe and certain before we act. And that makes sense. Understanding before believing is definitely better. But the downside is that it takes time. This approach works when you need to double-check something, but if it turns out not to be wrong, it ends up being inefficient. Here's an example. Imagine you show a microwave to someone from the Joseon dynasty. If you tell them it can heat food, they'd probably think you're lying because they've never seen anything like it. They might say, "That's impossible. There's no fire, so how can it heat up?" They'd refuse to use it. But then you could explain the science behind microwaves, like how electromagnetic waves cause the water molecules in the food to vibrate and generate heat. Once they understand that, they might give it a try. The thing is, though, if they didn't understand, they'd never use it, and that's an inefficient way to learn. But the truth is, you don't need to understand it fully to use it. The microwave is still useful even if you don't know how it works. You can believe it will work first, then learn the science later. And that's okay. I'm someone who doubts a lot. Even with the law of attraction, I had my doubts. But through the Shin Hai Hang Jung approach, I realized that even with doubts, you can still give it a shot. But here's another question. The microwave is a sure thing. But what if the law of attraction is just a load of crap? So, I recommend this. Even if you don't fully understand, just go ahead and try it with minimal input. If it doesn't work out, you didn't lose much. It's kind of like what I said in a previous video. Don't spend too much money up front. If you don't invest a lot of time, money, or energy, it's easier to calm your doubts. You're not risking much, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. The key is to try it with an open but cautious mindset. Now, the first thing you should do today is simple. Start imagining that you already have what you want. Before you sleep, lie down and picture the life you want. Experience it in your mind and fall asleep feeling good about it. There's nothing extra to do. Just keep living your life as usual. But take a moment before bed to imagine what you want. Life is full of choices, and we always want something certain. In our minds, there's always a scale working, deciding what's better this or that. When we try something new, it takes energy, and there has to be a real benefit to doing something differently. People get by just fine without the law of attraction, so if there's no real advantage to it, why believe it? But even if the law of attraction turns out to be wrong, it won't cost you much time, money, or effort. It's a win-win. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, no harm done. The key is not to turn blind faith into mindless belief. So try believing first, and as you go, gradually understand it more and figure out for yourself if the law of attraction works. Thanks for watching.